So inside this box is a rifle that I got my hands on clear back in February at the Great American Outdoor Show. And as soon as I got my hands on this rifle, I knew this was something that I needed to get into the channel for a review. So let's head over to the other bench and get this out of the box and check it out. Alright guys, we're over on the other bench and we are going to get this box opened up and see what all comes in the box. Now due to the size of this box, I can't get it all in frame, so we're just going to have to deal with it. So it just comes in a brown cardboard box. There's no markings or anything on it. We'll open this up. We got some foam padding here across the top. We're going to get that out of the way. Here is our rifle, and this thing is pretty. It is all wrapped in plastic. So let's go ahead and get the rifle out first. Now this does already have a mag installed. We're going to set this off to the side. We're going to come back to that in a little bit. Here we have the owner's manual. This is actually a pretty nice manual. It's a full color manual. And it comes with another owner's manual. This one is just a black and white manual. We also have a second magazine. We're going to go over the magazines here in a little bit. And that is everything in the box. So this is the Balikli, and I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, 308. And you can also get this rifle in 30-06. Now I went with the 308 because number one, I'm a big fan of 308. Two, I also reload 308 ammunition, and I already own a Remington 700 chambered in 308. Now I'm going to show you that this gun is clear, no mag, nothing in the chamber. Let's go over some quick specs before we dive into all the features on this rifle. I already told you that this is chambered in 308. This has an overall length of 41.4 inches. This does have a 20-inch barrel. We're going to talk more about the barrel here in a little bit. The length of pull on this is 14.5 inches, and it weighs in at 6.85 pounds. Now this rifle's got some really nice checkered Turkish walnut on it. I've been looking it over pretty close and I have not seen one imperfection in the stock, but you've got some really nice texturing right here and back here. Now one of the really cool thing about this rifle, this is built off of a Remington 700 Action. And there is a crazy amount of aftermarket parts for the Remington 700 Action. And if you stay tuned till the end of the video, I'm going to share some upgrades that I plan on doing in the future with this rifle. And I also got a brand new scope in that I'm pretty excited about that's going to go on this rifle. And being that we have a threaded barrel, I'm also going to throw a can on here. And I'm going to give you a sneak peek at the end of the video what all that's going to look like on here. So just like we do in any other unboxing video I do on this channel, we're going to start out here at the front, work our way all the way to the back, and go over all the features of this rifle. I already told you that this has a 20-inch barrel, but it is a 20-inch threaded barrel, which I'm pretty excited about because my Remington 700 308 does not have a threaded barrel. Now it does come with a thread protector, and the thread pitch on this is 5/8 by 24. And I do have an adapter for that thread pitch, so we will be throwing the anechoic 35L on here. Now another thing that I really like on this rifle is the barrel is a fluted barrel. And the twist rate on this barrel is 1 in 12. And we move back here and we do have a drilled and tapped receiver. Your 1913 pick rail comes with the rifle right out of the box. And there are 4 screws holding this on to the receiver. Now we're going to move back to the bolt on this. And I really like this fluting that they did on the bolt. I'm going to get it out of here in a second and give you a closer look. It's pretty smooth. I've heard a couple reports of other people that have this rifle that it's not the smoothest action. This one is not too bad. There is definitely a little bit of slop in it, but it seems to lock up good. Cycle's pretty good. I think it's going to be just fine. And I have not cleaned or lubed this gun yet, so I'm sure that's going to help a little bit too. Now, if you've never owned a Remington 700, let me show you how to take the bolt out. Because when you clean the rifle, you're definitely going to want to take the bolt out. So, you're going to open it up, pull the bolt back just like you normally would. And if you look right here, you got a button. You're going to push that in with this finger and remove the bolt. It's that simple. And one nice thing about that, bolt action rifles are very easy to clean because you can remove the bolt and you can run your rods or your bore snake right down the back and down the barrel. But I wanted to give you a close-up look of this bolt. This is just really nice looking. Got a pretty good sized, oversized bolt knob on here. And the bolt right here is not threaded. This is all one piece. And we have a few holes drilled right here. I don't know if they did that to lighten it up or aesthetics, but I think it looks really good. So I just wanted to give you a close-up of that. I think it's a really nice looking bolt. Now to put the bolt back in the rifle, gonna get this lined up. You can't mess it up. The lugs are gonna go right there. You're gonna push that button, and that's all there is to it. You're in and you're locked up. Now being that this is using a Remington 700 action, well, you have the 700 style safety, and that is right here. So right now we're in the safe position, and to go into the fire position, you're just going to push that up, and now it's ready to fire. All right, I got my definition knife here. I am tired of that tag flopping around, so let's get rid of that. So now let's talk about the trigger on this. I already showed you that this gun is clear, and there's no mag, nothing in the chamber. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the fire position. The trigger on this is pretty nice. I don't know if you can see it up close or not, but it's a really wide trigger. It's a little over half the width of the trigger guard itself. The trigger on this is quite impressive. There is no take-up. It just breaks. I'll show you that one more time. No take-up. It just breaks. Now what's super cool about the trigger in this, you can actually adjust the trigger pull weight on this. I have not adjusted it yet, but I am going to be pulling this receiver out of the stock just to show you what it looks like, and I'll show you where that trigger adjustment screw is at. But in all honesty, I don't even think you have to remove the receiver to adjust it. It's right inside the trigger guard, right in front of the trigger. So I'm sure you can use the short side of your Allen wrench to adjust that trigger pull weight. But I kind of want to see the receiver and everything on this, so I am going to take it out of the stock. Now, while we're talking about the trigger, I got my Wheeler trigger pull scale here. I want to see what this is breaking at, because it feels really good. We broke just a touch under 4 pounds. I was going to guess 3.5 pounds. Trigger just feels great. I like it. And once we get the action out of the stock, we'll play around with that trigger a little bit, and we'll do another trigger pull on it. Now let's move all the way to the back of the stock, and you do have a pretty thick rubber butt pad here on the back of the stock, and it's actually pretty soft rubber. Should be pretty comfortable shooting this. And if you want to put a sling on this or a bipod, you do have a sling adapter right here on the back of the stock, and one out here on the front. Now let's talk about magazines. And this was another big reason why I wanted this rifle. And that's because this rifle runs on AICS pattern magazines. And it does come with 2 magazines. These are 5-round magazines according to the EAA website. I have not tried to put ammo in these yet. And we're going to use these mags in the next video when we take this to the range to test it out. Even though I have a bunch of AICS mags, we're going to use these just because this is what it comes with. And if someone's going to buy this rifle, they're probably going to be using these magazines. Now, as far as who makes these magazines, I couldn't tell you. There's nothing on them except on the very bottom. It says 7.62 by 51. They look like they're going to be super easy to take apart. You got the little button right here. Going to take this tool, base plate. Oh yeah, very easy. So the base plate is going to slide forward. Make sure you keep your finger over that. Not too much spring tension on it. There's our spring. There's the spring with the follower and the base. Super easy to take them apart. To put them back together, just push that in. Push that down into the mag. Take your base plate, stick it back on there, and that's it. Easy peasy. Now, like I said, since this runs on AICS mags, well, I've got a bunch of them. I've got a lot of Magpul ones, and I've got these Amend 2. I think this is the 12 rounder from Amend 2. But as you can see, goes right in. Bolt cycles, no problem. Now, as far as your mag release goes, it's right here in the front, just like on my Remington 700. You got a paddle right here. It is ambi. You have a spot to push it on this side and on this side. Now, to drop your mag, you're just going to push that forward, grab your mag, and strip it out. Normally, on a Remington 700, they do not drop free, as you can see. So, push forward, grab mag, strip it out. Now, removing the stock from a Remington 700 is super easy. You got a bolt right here and a bolt right here. I'm going to do this off camera just because of YouTube. I'll be right back, show you what it looks like. Alright, I got the action and the barrel separated from the stock. I want to show you what the inside of the stock looks like. It's actually very light. I'm going to guess this weighs probably right around a pound. All our weight is right here in the barrel and the action. And I got to say, this is actually really nice. So remember I was telling you that the trigger weight on this is adjustable. Right there is the screw to adjust the trigger pull. So it's definitely going to be a lot easier to adjust it with it out of the stock, but you will be able to do it with it in the stock. Alright, I found the bit that fits this trigger. It says to turn it counterclockwise to lighten up the trigger on this. Okay, that's all the way out. I'm going to put it back just a little bit. I'll leave it right there. I'm going to go ahead and try to do this with it outside of the stock. I got the scale again. Oh yeah, that definitely lightened it up. We broke right above 2.5 pounds. Alright, well I got this action out and I got the bolt out. I'm going to look down through this barrel and see what it looks like. Pretty good. Alright, I'm going to get this all put back together off camera and I'll be right back. Alright, I got this all put back together. Now I need to get an optic mounted on it, get the suppressor on it to see what it looks like. I'm going to do all that off camera, bring it back, show you what it looks like, and then we're going to talk about future plans for this rifle. Alright, I got this all set up and ready to go to the range. Now the scope I ended up putting on this is the brand new Gideon Optics Guardian LR. They released this at GunCon back in June. This is their very first long-range scope, and I will have a separate review coming out on this scope. And then out here on the end, we've got the Anechoic 35L on here. Now, at the beginning of the video, I told you that I was going to let you know what I had in store for this rifle in the future. In the next video, we're taking it to the range just like this, and we're going to shoot it suppressed and unsuppressed. And we're going to get some different factory loads, and we're going to try shooting some groups and see how well this does. And if this rifle performs well, I want to put this action in a chassis. Now right now, the Remington 700 308 that I have, it's in the Magpul Hunter stock. And at first, I thought about taking this after we do the review on it and dropping it into that stock. But there's a chassis that I've been wanting to get for a long time, and I think this will be perfect for it. Now, I also told you that this was built off the 700 action, and it is, but we've run into a few snags. Now, I did take this out of the stock, and I took my 700 out of the stock, and I dropped this into the Magpul Hunter stock, and it worked. Everything lined up, but there's one problem. With the Magpul Hunter stock, you have to use a curved trigger. You cannot use a flat trigger. Now, years ago, I put a Timney trigger in that 700, and I remembered that I did have to go with the curved because the trigger guard on the Hunter 700 cuts in like this. So my flat trigger on this is getting into that stock. So the Magpul Hunter stock is not going to work with this. The chassis I want has a completely different design trigger guard, so this should work perfect in that. The chassis I want to get is not cheap, so I want to make sure this rifle is plenty accurate before I go ordering that. One of the other future plans I had for this rifle is Rise Armament, who is one of the biggest supporters of my channel, who also provides a 20% off discount for my subscribers, which is right here, and it gets you 20% off everything on their website, has a Remington 700 trigger out. And Matt from RTT Guns and Gear, he's already done a review on this rifle. And I am going to link that at the end of this video and down in the description below if you want to go check it out. But he tried to put that Rise Armament trigger in this, and it does not work. And after I got off the phone with him, I decided to go a little further. I went ahead and took the bolt out of my Remington 700 and tried to put it in this. It will go in, but it will not lock up. So even though this is based off the 700 action, it's not a 100% clone. Now, that's not saying that that Timney trigger that I have in my 700 wouldn't work in this. I don't know. But like Matt and I talked, because this trigger is adjustable, and it is a flat face trigger, and you can basically get this all the way down to 2 pounds, I don't think either him or I are going to mess with the trigger. In fact, when I got the 700 out of the safe, it's got a real wide trigger shoe on it, just like this. And I was sitting here dry firing both of them at the same time. And if I'm going to be completely honest with you guys, I think Balikli kind of cloned that Timney trigger, because this feels just as good as that Timney. So I don't even think I'm going to mess with the trigger at this point. But I do plan on putting this in a chassis. So stay tuned. I will have the range review coming out very soon. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one.